Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura, and tonight, whenever you're listening, I am being joined by one of the funniest cats in Houston, Finnister from the Houston Dyna Pod. How you doing, man?
Muy bien, Rudy. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be recording with you because it's been a while, man. I don't think you've been a part of the Bayou City Soccer experience yet. We've had you when we did Dynamo Theory, if I'm not mistaken, and of course I think I joined your podcast being Bayou City Soccer, but we hadn't had you here, man. Even though we share common love and Joey Chavala, so we pass him around. We have to get you involved every now and then, man. But how you been, man?
Busy, man. I have been extremely busy. I've been back from Oklahoma for like 10 days. I'm still like, man, I burnt the candle at both ends there. I'm gonna tell you what, it was a lot of nights with like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and that makes the daytime hard. I'm not going to confirm or deny that I felt I was asleep before I closed my first sale. I'm not going to say that happened.
Sure.
I miss Joey. I think you guys have turned him. He's got practice now. Now he's got practice. You want him to talk about practice? Practice for what, Joe? What are you practicing? What's he practicing? What's he doing?
He's always busy doing something. We can't hit him up. He's always doing it. He's trying to get famous some way. I think he's trying to go now for a musical talents at this point, man.
I think he's a CIA operative. Like that's the only legitimate reason that he's always busy, but has no kids. And you've seen his calves. Those are not the calves of a civilian. Those are not civilian calves.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Those were impressive. I know he talked about it one time, I think, in your podcast. And when I met him in person, I was like, holy smokes, man.
They're huge.
This guy does bench press backwards or something at this point, man.
Just go calf raises. Yeah, he just leg press. I don't know what he does. He plays a lot of drums, 2 feet on the bass drum, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Drive stick shift for.
They look like they hurt.
U.S. and Japan style, man. Speaking
of U.S., did they beat Trinidad and Tobago?
Did they?
I don't know.
I know they were playing. I just didn't really catch anything.
They should hire Chris Armas.
They should, right? The Rapids are going a little wild, man, for sure, dude. But you know what, Finn? It's been playoffs here in Houston, man. I don't know. It's been pretty exciting. We got 3 games against RSL. Wish it would have been 2. I was not lucky enough to make it to game 3. I was out of town, which was pretty lame, but I made sure not to watch anything. So I just recently watched the highlights, man, of what I knew the team was going to win. I knew that we were going to see them make it into the next phase, but I asked you earlier before we started recording if you got to watch it. I'm glad you did. I know you were in Oklahoma doing your comedy tour. Before we go into full Dynamo, were you just in one city or did you kind of travel around? That was my question.
I had some opportunity to go to Tulsa, but I did not. I also went to this little podunk town called Chickasha.
Okay.
And did a show there. It was overall, like I was in Oklahoma City. Couple things.
That sounds like, did you watch Wrestlers? You know what I'm talking about? On Netflix?
No.
Okay.
Do I strike you as someone that watches wrestling?
No, that I was gonna say that city sounded like one of the freaking towns that this people went into. Like
I guarantee you there's
Kentucky.
There's dudes in wife beaters and cut off jean shorts, body slamming each other through picnic tables in the backyard.
I could see that. I could definitely see that, bro. That's why when you said that name, I was like, dang, that sounds like something I've seen in a.
The spectators are pregnant, smoking a cigarette and drinking a Busch Light. Yeah, man.
With like only like one tooth.
Get them, baby. Get them, baby. Get them. Yeah, it was okay. So let me tell you a couple things. I've never been to Oklahoma. I've been through it, and I've never heard a good thing about Oklahoma. I loved Oklahoma City. First thing, Rudy, it is clean.
Wow.
Our city looks disgusting compared to.
What are you talking about? Well, I guess Oklahoma City. I was gonna say, whenever I watch Oklahoma anything, it's watching First 48. The Tulsa officers are just amazing. They get like so many murders happening, but I guess maybe Oklahoma City's a little different, bro.
I may or may not have been told a story about a person that went there and was forced to buy drugs from a farmer. The drug dealers in Oklahoma City are farmers. But dude, okay, so first of all, it's very clean. Second, the people are very nice. They're too nice. I'm like, what do you want? What's your ulterior motive here? Third, they have a major homeless issue, but Rudy, they do it right. See, here in Houston, we have a lot of homeless that are drunks and they're on heroin. It takes them forever to cross the street. In Oklahoma, it's meth, bro. They are moving.
I was gonna say some kind of crack that they're just flying by,
and it costs the city like $17 a year to feed all of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart. Maybe we should look into adjusting the addiction here.
Throwing some different drugs out there on the street.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about unused copper wire anywhere.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
true,
it was but hey, it was the comedy scene is it's a small one, but it's flourishing. There's some really cool comics. I got to host a show. That was cool. I got to be in my first show. My first show was in a dispensary. I didn't know weed was legal there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
The show was good. There's so many dispensaries, bro. Wow. There's so many. They're everywhere.
It's like new casinos and stuff. But yeah, I didn't know that they had dispensaries over there.
No idea. Well, they got the casinos on the reservations and stuff, but yeah, dude, they're so nice. And the little down, everything's 15 minutes. And these bitches are like, that's far. I said, 15 minutes for me is getting to the highway.
I feel you.
That's far.
That's funny.
It's not far. That's going to be going to the supermarket.
I'm assuming you drove there, so you were able to like get around with.
I flew.
You flew there?
So it was as the listeners don't know this, but it was a 2-part deal.
Okay.
Right. I got a new job as a regional sales consultant for a very big corporation because I'm a catch, Rudy, as you know.
Hey. And you walked the talk, man.
Hey. And they flew me out there, put me up in the Hilton rental car. So by day, I would do my training, and by night I was doing shows. And
by really late night, you were doing all kinds of different shows.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, I went to a burlesque drag show, which I did not expect to see in Oklahoma. Bro, a couple
That's progressive right there for sure, man.
I'm proud of that. But what's not progressive is every time. So I get to Oklahoma City and there's not a lot of African Americans. There's not a lot of black people. So first show, where are the black people, guys? This lady goes, they're probably at the poetry reading. And I was like, all of them? Like, you guys know where they all are? That's like some next level racism.
Yeah.
So if you guys thought Texas was backwards when it comes to racism, Oklahoma City has every single black person accounted for at all times.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I could see that. Hey, it was whenever we got to see you in the Alvin, it was pretty funny because it kind of probably had the same vibes, dude.
Yeah, a little bit, little camo, little overalls. Yeah, little incest.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Hey, it's Alvin for you, man.
But too progressive for Alvin. Too progressive.
I think. Yeah, I'm glad that you're back. Do you have anything coming up that you want to tell the people?
I did.
You have plenty of fans out there, dude.
Like 4. Let's see. I did a show.
And 2 of your mom and your stepmom, right? Kind of like that.
I don't have a stepmom. My parents are still married.
Oh, sorry.
Which is their fault for me consistently trying to get into relationships because it's a lie. What they have isn't normal. I'm like, I want that. I'm going to have babies. And then I'm going to give you my money. But Tuesday, I was a headliner at a show in Clear Lake. And then let's see, tomorrow, I'll be doing the Late Night Dirty Show, I think. Saturday for sure, but I got to work early Saturday. So tomorrow I'm going to be bouncing around for a few shows early on, The Riot and Secret Group. But possibly the Late Night Dirty Show both nights.
What about the Social Beer Garden? I know you did that in the past, and I saw recently that they were doing like open mic stuff.
Yeah, I honestly here, I've stopped really doing open mics. And I just pretty much go and do shows, but I don't really get, dude. I mean, like, look, there's comics that it's like, hey man, what do you do for a living? He's like, man, I work at Foot Locker.
Sure.
And I'm like, bro, I could work drunk at Foot Locker. I can't be like that with what I used to do as a teacher, which I went in hungover a few times. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to confirm or deny that I might have taken a nap in advisory twice last year. But you know what that is? That's trust. That is trust between you and your students.
That's it, man.
Captured their hearts.
That's it. So I'm glad, man. You looks like you're moving into better things. I know you had some love troubles, but man, hopefully that's beyond and
it's not.
We get it. Yeah.
We've actually hung out a few times.
Oh my goodness.
I know nobody's happy, but
Yeah.
closure is important to me and leaving things on better terms. And we talked, and I heard her side. And I'm gonna tell you, her version and my version are different.
Okay.
So only God knows, or Allah, or Yahweh, or whoever you guys worship, or nobody, or
Sure.
spiritual person.
Come down, Megan
Yeah.
Rapinoe over here.
Oh, she's stupid.
But yeah.
Talking about complaining. You're a world class athlete, and you make a ton of money. Stop. You can have your views. You can have your views, but don't be like, it's proof God doesn't exist. I tore my ACL in a professional sporting event. Come on, lady, read the room. I like her. I used to like her a lot more, but that was just stupid. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. I guess so, man. But Finn, I was gonna ask you something.
That wasn't too far, was it? We're not gonna get in trouble, are we?
No, man. We're good. I was just trying to think of something. I completely forgot what I was gonna say, but that happens, dude. So I guess we can jump right into the Houston Dynamo, man. The only soccer team that made it into the playoffs here in Houston. Obviously, we saw those be eliminated a long time ago. The Dash didn't even make it as well, and which is funny. I know you don't keep up with those teams as much, but Juan Amoros, who was the Dash coach last season, ended up winning it all. So funny enough, right?
No, I saw that. Why? What? Here's the thing. Like, who was the girl that took over twice in a row? Kelly?
No, you're
Stephanie?
talking about
tall white chick.
Sarah
Loudon.
Yeah.
Amoros was a phenomenal hire.
Yep.
However, Loudon did great when they got rid of Clarkson. I was actually pro Loudon last year. Let her keep it. She did well with it. And Amoros left for New York, which
it's a sexy place to go, right? I mean, especially being European. They tell you go to New York or Houston, you're gonna pick New York, man.
He might as well have moved to Moscow, as far as I'm concerned. Once you leave my city and you come after us, you're dead to me. Mauricio Pochettino, dead to me. Harry Kane, dead to me. All of them. Christian Eriksen.
That's a lie.
Actually, died on me.
Poster. You have that poster still hanging in your room, and I know it. We're gonna have to go look for it, but I know there's a poster of Harry Kane somewhere, man.
Just give me a warning before you do, because I have 2 firearms and I don't want to accidentally shoot anybody.
Hey, I'm telling you, yeah. But no, yeah. So obviously the Houston Dynamo, man, they've been doing good. I think they've definitely went above and beyond the expectation of many. Maybe I was the only stupid one that believed that they could make it as far as they did, which was 4th place. Got it right. What's funny is Rodrigo, when we went through the points, Rodrigo hit 4th place, same points, same wins, same draw, same losses. That's crazy. That one still blows my mind. But again, it was a little far-fetched, man, to begin with. I know that
Are y'all twins? Huh? You guys twins? Are you twins?
No, we're not twins, which is we're a couple 2.5 years. I'm 2.5 years older than him.
You look younger than him. You look better than Rodrigo.
Right? He probably
he's got hair
on the side, dude.
Probably. He was, you know what? He was probably in Oklahoma City.
Honestly, probably.
It's right next door. Probably. Dallas isn't far away. I mean, I've heard a meth head can get from Dallas to OKC in 6 hours on foot. I'm just saying.
I could see that, man.
I don't know.
But yeah, no. So obviously the season itself right now being in playoffs, I think it's just a dream at this point. And if they, the further they keep going, it's just bonus at this rate. So most of us just wanted for them to be in either 8th or 9th place to kind of try to push into the playoffs. So again, it's kind of beautiful, especially for you and me seeing FC Dallas and Austin already out of the playoffs, especially Austin. I know you have a lot of fans in Austin that you created throughout the years.
I coached
love you so much.
I really nurture that relationship. I pay attention to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, so here's one thing, what you're saying. Rudy, it's not a dream. We are going to win this thing. We are good. We have the perfect combination of veterans, youngsters, and people that are, the youngsters are just dumb enough to not realize how important it is. We are poised to win this. It's no longer a dream. Like your 4th place finish, what you predicted, I thought you were just clowning. I had us at 7th. Yep. Was like, ooh, but I said I thought we'd play to get in 9th or 8th. The way we're rolling, the way we're playing, man, this is real. Like Dorsey said it to Christian in the interview. Yeah. We have a trophy. Yeah, but you can dream. We want this. Like,
yeah. And if you're talking about Dorsey, that little clip that they shared, like from the locker room, that was it perfectly describes what you were mentioning right now. You have these youngsters like Dorsey all hyped up, hitting himself with the ball and screaming, what was it? Here we go, Orange, or whatever the
Here we
hell he
go,
said.
Orange.
And then you have Steve Clark, cool, calm, and collected with his little kid
Just holding
saying
the baby.
like,
Ben's throwing
yeah,
balls at Clark while he's holding his kid.
yeah. Boom. That would have
Dude,
been classic.
speaking of trying to catch a ball while holding a child, this is a true story. At a Mets game years ago, my father was holding my brother. He threw his child off of his lap to try and catch a foul ball. That's how important we were to Dad.
Did he catch it?
No, he fucking dropped it.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
priorities are wrong right
yeah.
there, man.
Man, I wrote the post like I don't think Griffin's ready to hold babies after big wins. I think somebody needs to test him out. Give him a kid.
Give him a kid, man.
Give him like a 4-year-old because they're a little more flexible, a little less breakable than a kid. But man,
a little more survivable. He can have a bounce to him.
He has grown on me. Like Griffin Dorsey has grown.
But see, okay, let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously, we know your counterpart Joey loved him from the very beginning, and he knew that this guy was going to be. We were able to interview him, me and him, and I think Joey and him bonded, among other things, just of the questions and stuff like that. But I just feel that from the beginning when he arrived, because of Tab Ramos, he did well. He was doing well, and you could tell that could be the right back of the future. Obviously, there was nothing to lose with this cat. They get him at a really low contract, and the guy overexcels. And then, to me, what's crazy is that right back is not his natural position. He's an attacker. He's a winger. So that's why we've seen him, break down the other opposition's defense and score really good goals, whether it be with his left, with his right, with his head. It doesn't really matter. The guy can score, and he has that. And just him displacing a natural right back in Escobar has been pretty fantastic.
Escobar's quality. Dude, he's no slouch.
Yeah.
Like I just imagine when Joey met Griffin, it was like an American Pie moment. Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. For sure.
Ooh,
it was
with those calves. But no, like if you look at how they play, Dorsey is a right back, but he's so high up the pitch. He's basically a winger and a midfielder. I love how Olsen shifts that and just drops Artur back, and it's like it works, man. And the what's the word I'm looking for? The connection between Dorsey and whoever's on that right. I can't think. Is it Posse? What the hell is it?
Usually is I would say Bossy or even Coco. Really, they throw Coco out there more often than not.
It's got a good rapport. They know where they're going, man. I don't understand. Like I watch this team play, and they know they don't even look. The ball goes to a player, and there's a guy there. And to me, that is high intensity drilling, repetition, and it's so European, and it is so fun to watch.
Well, and taking it to this series against RSL, which, man, 3 games, back to back against the same team is tough because there's just minimal stuff that you can kind of tweak just because they already know all your cards basically. But at the same time, the second game especially, and obviously the third being that it was so close that it had to go to penalties as well, they did a really good job on the second game to completely take out Dorsey out of the game, which was a little scary because obviously that was one of the key components that has, given the Dynamo that attacking, mobility.
They have a major advantage though.
Yeah.
Salt Lake is at like 5,000 feet elevation. Altitude sickness is no joke. It's no joke. So you watch how hard Dorsey plays. I've seen him gassed in Houston.
Yeah.
You go to a place like that, like the elevation plays a key factor, but they did a great job taking away the midfield as well. And I mean, like, look at it this way. RSL has played us 6 times this year, and they've never beat us in regular time.
Yeah.
How bad do you got to feel? And they're not a bad club.
Exactly. I think people don't realize it. It's like you're playing the 4th and the 5th team, playing a matchup with those similar characteristics. It just goes a really long way of how it's going to be a tough game. I think whenever say for instance, St. Louis going against Sporting Kansas City, you just saw KC having something different than St. Louis didn't. And they just, took over and got it done. And it's one of those that Houston is still, I think they're still threading upward. So
Yeah.
it's not a worrying moment, going against a Sporting Kansas City that's obviously super hot right now. But anything else that you like? I know that, man, did not go and listen to you at the RSL podcast.
Hey,
I should have.
That was
I
fun.
should have. And I may still go do it. There's still time, to just listen and
you can just lie and be like, I listened, it was great. I do.
well, I'm sure it was great because I'm in
your
the
last
group chat
episode.
and,
I listened and it was great.
The banter looked fantastic. So
yeah,
I was looking forward to checking it out. But and I've told you this before. You are like, apart from probably Glenn Davis, you're the only other podcast that I tend to listen to, like when the episodes pop up. So in Houston, I don't know, man. But every time I get super excited when something new pops up because you keep it pretty funny, man. But those banter ones are fantastic whenever you guys do it. Just because a lot of the times I give Joey shit because he tends to just go on pissing contests with people. I'm like,
just have fun with it. Like I have fun with it. I hope that one day it'll never happen, but I would love to have We Are Austin TV on my show.
Oh,
I wouldn't. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ew. No. But no, the RSL guys were funny, man. It was a good guy, bunch of good guys, funny guys. It was enjoyable. It was, I would say they were my second favorite.
That was the Riot people?
Royal Riot, yeah.
Okay, there used to be the SB Nation as well.
Yeah. I would say apart from NYC Forever, they were my favorite. NYC Forever guys. I mean, how do you go wrong with two Italians from New York? And I'm from Jersey, and so is Joey. It was like being back home and hanging out at the deli. But no, it was a good time. But I'm glad we won.
Yeah. Are you planning to do one with Kansas City? Anybody in Kansas City yet?
No, dude. That's the thing is, like, I've been so inconsistent this summer, and now it's I think you ever get burned out?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I get burned out and I just stop.
Yeah,
you guys keep going.
We keep going just because we try to be consistent. But like, look, we always record Monday nights, and we're here doing it on Thursday night just to try to get it kind of going for the week, man. But yeah, I mean, obviously the Dynamo survived that pretty good series against RSL, man. So if you want to, let's go ahead and talk about Sporting Kansas City. I think for me, obviously we touch on the Texas teams, but I really think that KC to me is a bigger rivalry than even Dallas at times. Maybe just because they've gone head to head in playoffs more often and meaningful games, and they always tend to give pretty good fight, man. And Peter Vermes lately has had the Dynamo's number, and it's time for Ben Olsen to change that. Obviously, you only get one try this time, man. You don't get anything after this one elimination game. And I wish Joey was here because unless you know this too, but I believe they go to extra time and then penalties in this series. They don't go straight to penalties. I believe that's to be correct, but I'm not sure. So again, it changes the game altogether, man. It's definitely more fun. And I was out of town. I took my kids to Disney, which was great till the last day.
Father of the year. How much was it?
Fucking meltdown.
How much does it cost to get in now? Like $3 million?
And a leg.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Whose leg did you give him? You were walking around. I said you gave him the wife's, didn't you?
Yeah, it had to be my wife. Yeah.
It's got to be her. You know what? I would have given him like grandma's. Grandma, you don't got long anyway, and you got diabetes.
Right.
Give him the leg. Your feet are going to go away anyway one day. Give it a leg.
Yeah.
KC, we talk about them having our number. I believe it's Bruce Arena, Peter Vermes, and Ben Olsen that have coached the longest in MLS in that order.
Yep. Well, yeah.
I think Arena's not coaching right now.
Yeah, I was going to say if active, then no.
It was the naughty boy.
Yeah, but, very.
Him and James Clarkson are texting right now. Johnny Russell and Alan Polito. You have to negate those two. I love Johnny Russell, but I hate his guts because he always has a way of just sticking it to us.
Did you? I don't know. Obviously, you probably don't have time, but when me and Rodrigo went to the Kansas City game when it was in September or whatever,
the red card game.
The what?
The red card game where Russell got the red card.
Yes, yeah, that game.
I loved his post about pro referees. I loved it.
I didn't check it out, but But what was funny is, so we went to cover the game. Literally just went that day. We just spent the night and then came back the next day at 6 a.m. But it's a fun experience because obviously we covered the game or the games in Shell Energy Stadium, and it has a different vibe altogether. And just going up the elevator, like I was going up the elevator and Alan Pulido was like right next to me, just texting, and it threw me off. And it's one of those that he just looking at the phone, he didn't trying to talk to anybody. And then on the way out, same thing. There's like all the players like were just around me. I was like the only guy in the middle, and of course I have like one Dynamo pin, on my backpack, and I was like, this feels funny. And then out of nowhere, the elevator's closing. And you just see somebody like yell and like throw their hand in, and it was Johnny Russell and his wife, and I was just like, "This is really funny." Just to be
she's hot,
surrounded by all the.
Is his wife hot, smoking hot?
I don't know about smoking hot, but she has a rock star look to her.
See, I picture him with either like
even Johnny Russell, man. They have like that. They were wearing like leather, like they just look like freaking.
What club were they going to?
Yeah, it looks like they have a Harley or some shit, like that they could jump on after the game.
Or they have dog leashes and ball gags. It's one or the other.
I could see that too.
I see like with Johnny Russell, I see his wife as being either like really smoking hot or his high school sweetheart, and she's god awful ugly. Because he strikes me as a loyal guy. You know what I would have done if I was in the elevator with Pulido? Number one, I wouldn't have recognized him.
Sure.
But real quietly, he's on his phone. I would have been like this. Let's go Dynamo. Just once, and then looked at him.
Yeah. I obviously at the time he was questionable. And so I texted the guys in the group chat for Bayou City Soccer. I'm like, hey, just FYI, Pulido's definitely out because he's right here in the elevator with me, dressed up. So
you should have you should have kicked him in his knee.
He's not warming up
for the third game.
He had just gotten paid, man. If anything, I should have asked him for a couple thousand to throw my way,
And they're gonna think we're poor in Houston. We can't let them know that we are.
True.
We're not. Rudy's not poor. Rudy has a castle. La Palacio. El Palacio.
El Palacio, you got it.
Palacio. See, I like the Spanish intro. You caught me off guard, but I was like, I can do that.
I was trying to be funny, and then it was good. Up, so it'll probably get edited out either way, man. But we'll try it again next time. Now I'm gonna do that every time I have somebody that doesn't speak Spanish. I'm just gonna because whenever we even like talk to people that are only Spanish and we started doing the introduction in English, they freak out. So it's pretty funny. So your new gig like a pyramid scheme? Is that kind of like was good about that?
Rudy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, when I first started this job, what attracted me was the amount of zeros behind the comma, the amount of commas in there. Okay, the second thing that I realized is sales. It's a sales position, right? And I used to do sales back in the day, timeshare, which was like fucking stealing, and I hated it. And I've always disliked sales because a lot of time it's just strong arm tactics and lying.
Right.
I work for a company that I swear to you helps people. It's not cheap, but they help people. And I didn't believe it. Okay. I used their product and I was like, okay, I feel better, but I'm not all the way there. About 10 days into this 21-day training, it was supposed to be 30. I was supposed to be coming back tonight. Sure. 10 days into it, like I really bought in. And it's like, if you don't want to buy it, fine. It's your body, it's your health, but they work. They work, and the things that I suffered from physically, not mentally, I still suffer from those. They're gone. So do what you want, man. It's your life. But no, it's cool actually. Like it's cool. I've had some people, like one person, get mad. I had to tell one lady to be quiet. She kept talking. I was like, look, listen, if you would just be quiet for 2 minutes, I could actually explain to you what's going on, and you would actually understand what you're feeling. But you keep talking. You won't stop. I should have walked to the wall. You walked halfway and turned around. Can you be quiet for 2 minutes? And she was 61, but she acted like she was 9. Did this. Hand on her chin and just made this face at me and looked away. And I was like, well, there we go. Thank you. Now I can finish this up. At the end, I was like, what do you think? She's like, I'm not interested. I was like, I didn't think you would be.
There you go.
You have a blessed day, ma'am.
I'm a sales guy too, but it's different. It's mostly repeat customers per se, so I don't have to do a spiel and try to sell the product. Which
dude, I got like 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes to convince them
to buy the product,
to spend a hefty amount of money.
Sure.
So, and closing rates are actually very high.
Dang.
They're like 30 to 40%. That's a lot. It's a big number. You know that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mine are not at 30 to 40 right now.
Clearly, those numbers are not what you made as a teacher. So
No, no. And there's a lot of growth potential in the company. I've already discussed with upper management about moving up because I'm older, I'm more mature, despite what you hear on the podcast. And I'm educated, which just means I was able to.
I'm educated,
and I got papers with my names on it.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it's a good thing, man.
That's great, man. No, I'm happy for you for that, dude.
Thanks. I'm happy that we're both in sales. We have something in common, even more
there
so
you go,
now.
man. Even more now.
You want to talk about soccer?
Yeah, let's go ahead and kill off the whole Sporting Kansas City, and then I have a couple questions. But what are you thinking, dude? First of all, are you going to be at the game? Have you bought tickets? I know it's during the Thanksgiving weekend on a Sunday, so it kind of throws everything off again. But
Rudy, are you going? Are you going?
I'll be there.
You know what, guys? It's the 26th, isn't it?
Yes.
What time is it at? Is it at 3 o'clock?
No, it's 5 o'clock.
I will be there because you know what? I'm working Sunday.
There you go.
And I'm going to come to that game G'd up. No, I'm going to change. Or else I'd come G'd up and my feet up. I look good. I like wearing nice clothes.
There you go, man.
Granted, I had to buy some because of the thing.
Look, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Got a little smoky.
The great fire of Alvin. But no, I'm planning on going. My ticket rep. I know we're not talking KC. My ticket rep emails me before the first RSL game. He goes, "Hey, we ran your payment method. It didn't go through." I'm like, "Why are you running my payment method? I'm not even in Texas, bro."
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you want to put a new one on file?" I said, "No, I canceled my membership. I can't afford it anymore."
Right.
But Ted,
till now,
we'll see. First thing is move into an apartment where I can look at other people in their windows from the 15th to 20th floor.
That'd be nice.
My first thing in buying is a telescope.
Hey, as long as you let me park there during game days every now and then, that'd be nice. Save some money on.
Have I not given you the code to that garage nearby?
No. We'll talk after you want to say live so everybody can park there? Okay, cool.
And lose it? No. I'm generous, but I am not that generous.
Nah, man, it's funny. But
all right, KC.
Yeah.
KC. How do I feel? I feel like of all the teams that I'm looking at in the Western Conference, they scare me the most. Because I've seen us outplay Seattle.
Purely a dark horse. Yep.
I've seen them outplay Seattle. I've seen us outplay Seattle. I've seen us outplay LFC. I know it can be done. We haven't beat KC.
Yeah.
KC is in form and everybody's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Russell and Polito, who we are a little bit different team. We haven't lost in how many games? Like lost in regular time? What is it? 8 matches? It's a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
But they, of all the teams that are left, they have that Cinderella slip around like we did in the Open Cup, which I didn't think we were Cinderella at that point. Not by the third or fourth round.
Not even close, man.
No. But they are the perfect Cinderella story, and we are the perfect foil. But I got so much faith in Ben Olsen and Herrera and the leadership on that team that the only thing I could see ruining our chances is the likes of Escobar, Bossi, Coco, or Ache getting a red.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we pull it off in regular time. But I think it is going to be a phenomenal game. If you're going to want to, if this is a game you're going to want to watch, because the history here, it's always chippy.
Yeah.
I hope we give them the business. I hope we go out there, maybe not studs up, but maybe a couple foot stomps here and there, little Franco Escobar head pats.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it's going to be, one of those gritty, ugly games. It could be, right? Potentially is one of those that just because of the rivalry that you mentioned, it can be physical. These two teams don't like each other. They have history. Obviously, there's players, especially in Kansas City, they've been there forever. And players like even Jenny Russell and Graham Souza is purely on the bench nowadays. But, there's something there that Houston is going to want to do something about it because, I mean, who's the oldest player in the Dynamo at this point,
Who's the longest tenured player that's been here the longest?
At this point.
Jesus. It's got to be somebody on dose. Thor?
Probably, yeah. Well, possibly. I mean, maybe Coco, actually. Maybe Coco
came after Thor. Frocco came after Thor. But, the RSL guys hated KC, too. They're like, just beat him. We hate Russell. Just send him into retirement. Like, I want to beat them so bad that Vermees just quits.
Yeah.
Or gets fired like it happened to the Portland guy. I want to beat him. And I want to keep this show going, man. I don't want it to end.
You, man.
I know it's going to end, but I want it to end with confetti and smiles.
Yeah, I'd rather win. Like, I want to see them win this game, and then obviously they have nowhere else to go but away games, and then those, that's fine. If you lose an away game at this point, it's fine. But I don't want to lose at home. I don't want Shell Energy Stadium to be packed, which I'm disappointed, guys. I know I was out of town, and people still didn't show up to that damn freaking stadium when the weather was pretty nice, man. For once, you could wear a sweater like the one you're wearing tonight, man. Something like that, and people didn't take advantage of that. So
I don't understand it. Like, I know that times are tough for a lot of people. Like, that's why I'm not there. But I constantly give my tickets away, or I sell them, and I lose money because I want someone there. I do not understand this city when it comes to this sport. I think it was Victor posted something like asking about the attendance. And it's like, the marketing hasn't been great. We have a massive Hispanic population that they already have clubs, but Jesus, we can market to them. Come on. You got Herrera.
I will say though,
Herrera's a food.
Yeah. I was gonna say that for one, dude, it's you waited all the way till the last game, possibly at home. Yeah. And especially at home.
I'd have put him
for you to take out Ache. And dude, you take all those players, man. Take them to Fiesta, take them to Kroger, take them everywhere around the city. Whether it be inside 610 or out in the suburbs, man. You can do that. I was thinking of that because I used to work in Tomball, and pretty close to Tomball, and there's a Fiesta maybe about a couple streets away from where I was at, and funny enough that one day I used to go to Fiesta all the time just to get like a snack or something if I forgot my lunch. And there's a guy that worked there, and he was like, "Hey man, like yesterday I went to Fiesta after I got to work, and I got this signature, dude. It was like DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans was just there, like at this point. Granted, it was when he was barely, I think it was his rookie year or second year, but why not take some of those players and parade them around town just for a couple autographs and just some people to get more interest on the Dynamo, man. And it's kind of sad again. This is the first time all season that I've seen them do that. Now, obviously, some of the Dynamo 2 players would go to practices for what now is HTX Soccer.
Yeah,
but
my son,
dude, those are the common people that you want to get to the stadium. Like,
we don't want the whites.
Well, you already have those kids. They know about Dynamo. Like, get somebody that maybe, like you said, there's a lot of Hispanics here that love Liga MX. Maybe they don't really have anything. Any kind of ties to MLS, or I think it's also pride, because I feel like I was that way. If you have a team that is a rival country in soccer to the US, you're always gonna think your team is better than the American team, and then once you come and check out a game, you see that that's not the case. Like,
not here. This is good. This is good football.
Yeah,
and like I'm tired. We don't need any more Blakes or Connors at the game, guys. We got plenty. I want the Israels. I want more Hispanics. I mean, they're there, the Hondurans, the Nigerians.
Yeah,
we got players from those countries.
Yeah, there's so many people that you can hit, like that you can actually bring to the stadium. I mean, we are a soccer city, and I think that's what drives me nuts sometimes. That some people are just so you talk to them and they're big EPL fans. They've never been to an EPL game, but they're so prideful of not going and checking out the Dynamo Stadium. And again, I've said this before. I remember being, at this point, I was about to graduate from high school when the Dynamo won the first title, the first title. And then it was one of those that I was so oblivious and didn't know what the Dynamo were. And eventually I started going to games to see the other teams play, because, whether it be Landon Donovan with the Galaxy, or Chicago Fire, or Thierry Henry, and that's kind of how I got into even watching the Dynamo, because I didn't know any of the Dynamo players, even though they were good. And now you have really good players. Obviously, like Amin Bassi was a no name for all of us, and he's been one of the best players out here.
Not Joey. Joey knew his shoe size. Joey's like, he's a size 7 wide.
He needs everything, man. He's FM fanatic. So
I think the only way to really look. We're going to have to start scheduling halftime shows with like J-Lo, Mark Anthony, Selena, just people that bring people in. Selena's hologram. No more Paul Wall. People that listen to Paul Wall don't watch soccer, except for me.
Thank you.
They don't watch soccer. They don't have grills. Yellow's got
Yeah.
them reds. No, they don't watch soccer. They
I've
watch
always
football.
I've mentioned that before. I just don't understand that tactic. I just don't. Not that you're. It just doesn't fit the people and the demographic that is going to those games. Just in general, I think when they play, it's great whenever they play. When you talk about halftime, they'll play like some random Hispanic song and people are singing it and chanting it. Like
Yeah.
it's just different than whenever they do Paul Wall. You people
You're
don't
gonna put a guy whose last name is Wall on stage and expect the Hispanics to come out? Not gonna
right.
happen. Not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
no, I feel you. I feel you.
Stupid.
So
Or
yeah, it
Bun
just
B. We need
Bun
like
B.
Concha A. No more Bun. Do something different, man. It's there, and we've the marketing this year has been bad.
Yeah.
That has
Well,
got to be the product in the field has been phenomenal, but
what do you think about the whole purple thing being inserted?
what's the purple thing? What is this? The mattress?
No, like every freaking playoff related graphic has some purple in it nowadays.
Why? What's the purple for? Like gay
That's
and
what I'm saying.
lesbian?
I guess they're trying. Maybe that's a new color there's going to be for next year's jersey or something.
I don't think
At
purple's
this point,
new.
I don't
I
get
hope
it. Like
not. Why purple?
it's been going from orange and white to orange and black to now orange, black and purple. It just driving me a little nuts seeing
I
all
don't
this
care if I
purple.
don't. We could play in a onesie for all I care if we're winning. I don't care. We can go out there in our chonies and
Did you
our little Bluetooth bras.
I don't have the shirt with me, but did you see a pic like we created we collaborated with a printing company called Ugly Guppy, and they created some really cool like shirts for us. That basically I went a little I made the graphic for it, went a little Ted Lasso, which funny enough, I just finished this Ted Lasso like today. So yeah, I was a little late on that. But
Have you cried yet? Have you
no,
cried in Ted
yeah,
Lasso?
of course, man. Of
Okay.
course, dude. You have to. You gotta get a little teary eye. But it just said like believe, and it has our logo and a couple stripes.
I'm looking
Anyway,
for it. I'm looking for it.
but if yeah, check it on the it's on the Instagram.
I'm on the twatter. I'm on
Yeah, check the
X.
Instagram. The
I'm,
Twitter
I'm not.
that has too much crap, man.
I'm not on X, the drug. I'm on X, the.
But anyways, whenever the first playoff game against RSL, we set up shop pretty close to the media booth, and we just had people kind of come over and tell us, their predictions and why not. And the president of the Houston Dynamo, Jessica O'Neill, kind of stopped by. I guess she was curious. She probably thought we're selling merchandise or something, and she looked at it and she was like, "Oh, now you need to add some purple to it." And in my head, I was like, are we
What are
trending to, go
we doing it?
purple now? Kind of, I don't know.
What's up with Kowalczyk? Is Kowalczyk hurt? I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing. No, he's healthy. They just haven't freaking played him.
Oh, good. Keep him away. We've been doing.
Did you find it? Did you find the picture of it?
No, you have to send it to me. No,
What
I see Corey Baird, little rascal. Ryan Garice. Oh, that's a cool Fox logo. Although it reminds me of somebody. I don't see it, bro. I don't know. Oh, there's Ferreira. That's how far back I went. Ferreira's in there. Ferreira.
Oh, that's too far. No, it's not.
El Gordito.
I'm gonna have to send you a picture. But anyways, we should be getting some more eventually, so I'll hook you up with one.
Oh, thanks, man.
They
Yeah,
did a pretty good job.
I have stopped with the merchandising. Really, we're okay. I'm tired.
Though? Sorry, Ben. So prediction, I guess, just for Sporting Kansas City. I mean, I've been saying this. I'm not gonna bet against the Dynamo in the playoffs. Never. Will, but
I never will.
But how are you thinking? Do you think it's gonna be score wise, tie game, pretty close, maybe 1-0, or you think it's gonna be a blowout?
1-0 with lots of pain in favor of the Houston Dynamo.
Okay.
I think they're going to walk in and they're going to limp out. What concerns me most is I know it's going to be physical. And you look at some of our guys that are a little dainty, Bossy, Dorsey. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is built like a Sherman tank.
Just thinking back, I believe whenever you hosted like a bunch of us podcasters and kind of we were discussing like the key components of what would make the Dynamo season successful this year. And I think the people that were thinking we were going to make the playoffs, I think we got it right. Whether you having a healthy Ache that's providing 10 plus assist
17.
and so yeah, and
17.
it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And then I mean, Bossy, some of the people I remember mentioning, it'd be great to see him score a couple goals.
Do you remember we said Ivan Franco needed to score 15 goals to validate that contract? 15 to 20.
You remember everybody pretty much said Sebastian Ferreira was going to, score 20
we were
goals.
so wrong. We were very wrong.
Yeah,
But
Ivan Franco was like,
Franco doesn't even average 15 minutes a game.
I don't think Ferreira has even scored with, Vasco da Gama since he joined them, which is pretty crazy.
It's just that. Guys,
and look, I don't know what we're gonna do. Obviously, that'd be a off-season topic. Hopefully, again, we'll keep going and we don't have to worry about the off-season yet. But
whatever he's done, he's pissed off Ben Olsen and Pat Onstad. That's the only reason he moved so fast. He did something.
Yeah.
Whether it was the Instagram post or his attitude in training,
I think it was the attitude.
The haircut, maybe. His unwillingness to play defense.
It's just crazy, man.
I don't know.
It's really, really, really.
Yeah, guys, we don't know everything. I know, like, people are like, "Oh my God, they were wrong." I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I've been wrong 20 times this episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those that you would have never guessed that he was going to be moving after like a pretty good season he had last year. No. So, but granted, it was just once you saw Ben Olsen, it was going to change the tactics and some people were going to thrive. And he mentioned that, some people are going to be okay with the change. And to be honest, I think that's why I was happy. I was the biggest Adam Lumpkins fan. And as soon as I found out that he wanted out, and he decided to go to Austin, that's a big FU, man. Like
he's dead to me.
Switch the page for me. Yeah.
Dead to me. I hope he gets dick cancer. I don't. But
but I mean the season that they have, like, I mean, is one of those that, we knew some teams were just hitting, way above their
punching above their weight. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was one of those kind of like what we saw with St. Louis City. It was a lot of St. Louis City and Austin had the same exact type of seasons that they were just getting lucky, lots of giveaways that would end up in goals for them. And it was just, but they were relentless in putting teams away. And
to be fair, St. Louis had some quality players.
They did. Well, and I would say Austin did too. But again, it was just a lot of it, some more injuries. I think St. Louis got hit with more injuries than Austin did last season.
Yeah.
Before they went out of the the playoffs, but it just kind of funny the way it is. And even for Dallas, if we're talking rivalries as well. I mean, it was kind of unlucky for them to lose Alan Velasco after he was playing pretty well, and then
I don't like
even
him.
Jesus Ferreira didn't even get much playing time.
So. I don't like Velasco. I remember before the season started when we hired Ben Olsen, everybody was worried about Benny Ball.
Yeah. I was one of them. I would agree with you.
What you saw was a product of him doing what he had to do with what he had. And do you remember this? I posted something. It was like, if I was to tell you that the Houston Dynamo were going to hire a coach, I listed stats. Everybody was like, they thought it was one person. I go, that's Ben Olsen. They were all excited. They're like, yeah, hell yeah, we would be. I go, those are Ben Olsen stats, guys. Like, you should be excited.
Yeah, I remember you had Ben Olsen and then you had Jim Curtin. And they're very similar.
It was Curtin stats. It was Curtin they thought I was talking about, but it was Ben Olsen because everybody was high on Curtin with his development and everything. But dude, he is my manager.
And dude, and the thing with Ben Olsen, and I'll throw a cheap plug here, but we should be getting an interview with him soon, hopefully before the playoffs. Before the playoff game. So we'll have that on too and get his thoughts on the season in general. But he's a very likable guy too. I think, we were used to seeing whether it be Top Ramos. He talked a lot, but he seemed a little clueless in my end of the spectrum. He wasn't where he needed to be at the time. I think he was very stuck in what the U level was, and that wasn't going to work here. And then with Nagamura, he was a little higher than Top Ramos, and it just didn't work out. And his personality, it was just not a good one. He was very like everything.
He walked out of player meetings. He never talked after games. He walked out.
Yeah, exactly. That was Top Ramos. Yeah, that was Top Ramos that would walk out. Yeah. And then Nagamura, it was the opposite. Everything seemed like, talking about Ted Lasso, it was very like Roy Ken type. It was a lot of like that mentality. Like he was just going to shut down and not give you anything to whether it be the media. And I would assume he was the same with the players. Now you have a Ben Olsen, and we hear him all the time, in his press conferences and how transparent he is and the way he approaches the game and tactically. I think it suited him to have those couple years out of coaching, not to reinvent himself by any means, but just like you said, sometimes we just need to sit down and like take a break, man.
Yeah,
and I think that was what he needed.
I picture Ben Olsen for the time he was out. He was sitting cross-legged, holding a soccer ball in each hand, and just humming. And every couple of minutes, you go, Wayne Rooney.
I would imagine him like the Pablo Escobar meme, just kind of like sitting down, just like
depressed.
Yeah, just thinking about life.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And usually in the bathtub while I'm making toast on the toilet. But like Ben, first of all, he's come a long way in his fashion sense. Have you ever seen photos of him from when he was younger?
Bro, yes.
Ooh, young man. Who was you were very Ross dressed for less. He looks good. He's got passion. He's got fire. He's honest. And he did something, and he's talked about culture and the family essence of the team. Ramos never talked about that. Neither did Paulo. And it was Colin from Keeping Tabs that pointed this one thing out at Hector's birthday party. He's like, they're having fun together. We never saw that.
Right.
Bossy cracks me up.
Bossy's
the shit he did on Picture Day, where teenagers finally like, stop talking.
Did you see the only interview he's probably ever done so far?
It was like something wrong. He said something wrong.
Yeah, he was he obviously he didn't they would ask him a question in English and like he had no clue what's happening. They'll ask it in Spanish and he still had no clue what was happening. And then he'll answer them like kind of like he would give decent answers about things like they asked him about the penalty. It was like his first 2 misses and like 10 PKs or whatever. Yeah. And he basically said like it doesn't matter. Like, I'm confident if it would happen again, I'll take it again. And then at one point he said, I think he said like cagón or something like that, like in Spanish. Yeah. And so it was funny. And like, he looks at, I guess it was probably Edgar Villa. He's a communication guy. He's like, can I say cagón? And like, they shake his head and it's like, he just laughs. Like he's just funny, like without trying to be funny. Like he just has a good personality. And you're right. I think that was really early on because I think it was early April is Acha's birthday. And I mean, just the offseason was different. The whole trip to Mexico and Acha Hector just showing them around and just kind of making it like an actual community, which it was going to be hard for him the first year because you're coming in and, the middle of the season, you're
to a team full of scrubs.
Yeah, exactly. There was no way that he was going to be able to change anything around. So people that are super disappointed and calling for his head and why did we sign this player and why we're paying him so much, that was dumb. And I always said it, and it wasn't for me just being Mexican and being biased. He's just a good player. You don't go to Europe and
he captain the Mexican
of Porto.
Team.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
you're the captain of Mexico.
Leader.
You're the captain of Porto. You're playing Atletico Madrid and help them win a La Liga.
Yeah.
How often does that happen? It's always Real Madrid and Barcelona.
And here's the thing too is now I forget what I was going to say, and it was actually really good and relevant. Damn it. Keep going. I'll remember it. Hold on. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's just one of those that, I think there's a lot of people already downing the team. And yeah, of course, it wasn't ideal to, get a coach in Nagamura and fire him after 9 months and just restarting. I was very critical of like even what Pat Onstad was doing because it was like, what the hell's happening? You're telling us this is a project and you're, booting it right away. That you lose a little bit of confidence there, not necessarily.
Well, they also hired Paulo late. And what I was going to say is this. You're talking about how people are saying Ache is no good. After game 2 of RSL, did you read any social media? Because I sure did.
Sure.
I saw people hashtag Bossy out. Bitch, he's missed twice all year. He's missed. What are you watching? Bossy out? Like, look, if you're going to be anybody out, at least know what you're talking about. Right. Don't just say it to get attention. Who does that? But like, I do. But no, these people, they don't watch. Ache's garbage. He's not. They say all the time, Baird sucks. He doesn't.
Right.
Everything. Coco did start off pretty rough. Nelson, we missed on Nelson.
And that's good that you mentioned because obviously Corey Baird was a massive conversation last year. He scored those goals that kind of kept them in Houston late in the season when it didn't really matter. There's 5-6 games and he scored pretty much every game. And we're like, well, that right there just says that he's probably going to be here next season.
He's a player.
And it happened.
He's got a competitive
but it's
spirit.
one of those that you just have to, there's some players, it's different tactics, different coaches are going to come in. It's like, you're playing FIFA with your kid earlier. Dude, you pick a team, you change the freaking tactics. There's players you like, players you don't like. That's how it goes. That's literally every time you get a coach in to run a club. It doesn't really matter. But if you're a good coach, you can pinpoint the players that can make a difference in your team. And I think Ben Olsen did that
100%.
And working alongside, Pat Onstad, picking up the correct players also was a good thing instead of just, going with the flow and picking players you watch on YouTube highlights. Like, it's just a little different of the strategy that we're seeing, and it's working. And I think one thing that Ben Olsen continues to mention is that, when they're asking him about the success, it's a lot of like, we're definitely we're way ahead of schedule. And to an extent, I don't think they're necessarily happy with that because, obviously you win a US Open Cup, you make the playoffs, you're this far into the playoffs. Like it's going to be hard because sometimes that happens that you have a great first season and then everything else, like you're not consistent anymore. And I think that's the key word there. They're trying to make this a consistent club into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and competitive.
We should be. We're the 4th largest market in the country. We're the only team. We don't share teams like LA and New York. We're not like Chicago. Right. They don't. Where's their stadium? Right. Michigan. But like, here's the thing. Ben was talking about how we're complaining about ties on the road now. That's good.
Yeah.
That's having
that
faith
is really good.
And expectation. That's having an expectation in your club, and he likes it. And like, I'm worried that year 2. There's 2 ways I think year 2 could go. It could go horribly wrong, and I think the only way that happens is injuries.
Right.
But if we build on this, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Realistically, you look at the team, Clark's a leader. Terrible haircut, but he's a leader. Sviatchenko's a leader. Achayachi and Artur are leaders. Up top, we need work. Corey Baird's a leader, and I think Bossy's got the respect of the teammates. You know what I mean? Nelson's way too young to be
take it to Ibrahim Aliyu. I think he's a guy that he was brought in. I think he fits the system, but boy, he's raw. You need to score when you're 6 inches away from the goal. That's what you need to work on. It's one of those that is a gun shy part of it. Some people just need to be up there and take a shot, man.
Remember how bad Quinones was for a long time? And then he had a month left to go on the contract, and he lit the world on fire, and he's been doing it most games ever since.
Right. Yeah.
We've found it. We found the recipe. Leave Ben alone. And don't say Bossy out when he set the record for MLS conversions.
And I love that you do mention that because I think one thing that Christian always mentioned in the past was about the starting 11. If you remember how Nagamura never had the same lineup. Ever.
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he always had like 1 or 2 players different every single lineup. I mean, I remember Victor Araiza mentioned that to him towards the end of his tenure. It was like you played 30 games and you had 30 different lineups. Like, what gives? Everybody's healthy. Like, what is that about? And here, what's kind of scary in a way,
coming.
We know what's coming. It's literally copy and paste, which is fantastic. But then you look at the bench, and it's a little worrisome at times because you're like, who the hell you bring in, man? Especially with players like Kovalchik that hasn't gotten much time, or Thor, or what happened to Brooklyn Reigns, altogether. I mean, this guy was poised to probably take over one of those defensive midfielder spots. And obviously,
Caicedo,
the young guy,
Reigns. Luis
he
Caicedo.
has a lot of,
Caicedo happened.
Yeah, of course. And I was going to say, obviously, it just different positions. I mean, they put Brooklyn Reigns at one point in the wing too. So it was, where does he fit in the system? And
let me ask you a question. All right. I know it's exciting to play a 16-year-old, but how good are you if you have to play a 16-year-old and they're not the next big thing? I mean, like the next Rooney, the next Zlatan, the next Ronaldo. Right. How you're reaching? Who was that 16-year-old a couple years ago in KC? Went to Europe, haven't heard of him since. Light-skinned kid. What the hell's his name? Oh, here comes my son. Yeah. Here comes my kid. He's about to get mad at me.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to leave the mic on.
For KC, now you got me thinking.
When?
What's wrong? What's red? Yeah. Go to bed. I'll plug it in. You go to bed. You want to come say hi? I'll do it. You come here. Come here, Lincoln. Nobody else is doing the podcast. Come here, quick. No, he's done.
Man,
Good night, buddy.
Freaking...
What are you doing? What are you doing? Go lay down. Good night. It's my special boy. Hey,
looks like a smart kid, man. He's telling you to go to bed.
I think he was telling himself to go to bed, or maybe me too. I don't know.
Bro, you threw me off because I don't know who you're talking about for KC.
Boosie.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gianluca Boosie.
Gianluca.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where'd he go? Let's go. What has he done?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, and look, I think next year two is having
Boosie
7 guys on the bench that can fill in. We got a couple. Caicedo can fill in. I feel like Kowalczyk can fill in. Is it teenage? I think we need to round out that bench, add an attacker, and
I think
out.
You're right. I mean, the pieces are mostly there. You know, obviously, there's some players that are probably not going to be here, like Carrasquilla. You hope to sell them, and make some money out of them, just because he doesn't really necessarily seem to have a perfect fit on the system, and he wants to go to Europe, and you should go ahead and bank on it instead of losing money like you did with Albertellis and Manotas in the past. But from there on, maybe Chase Gasper, we won't see him again. There's some players that they could definitely come in. Ashara, I mean, the guy's been injured the whole time.
Brad Smith,
not to throw it on him. Brad Smith has gotten healthier and does well at times. Yeah. Ivan Franco, his loan's probably going to end, and we're not going to see him again. So, it's going to be interesting for sure, man. And then obviously like Matias Vera, it's out on loan. His contract is up. Danny Rios, a guy that, didn't really do much.
Did you say either. Danny Rojas? Danny Rojas.
That'd be nice.
Danny Rojas.
Football is life, my friend. Football is life, my friend. But
give me Jamie Tart.
But man, I think we went way more than 30 minutes, and it has been great conversation. But Finn, man, tell the people how they can connect with you, man, and about your podcast, dude.
Well, guys, first of all, sorry I haven't been recording so regularly. Shit happens. Google Houston Dyna Pod. You know what I tell people that comment? They go, Dino Pod? I mean, what is it? Did I say Dino? Did I say Dino? Dyna. It's Dyna Pod. How do you spell that? It's the way it's pronounced. Houston Dyna Pod. And next year, maybe Joey's practice will be over and his calves will shrink, and we'll be able to hook up regularly. But next year will be a little bit better, a little more stable. This has been a year of turmoil and holy shit. I mean, I love chaos, but Jesus, give me a break. Dear Lord, take the wheel.
Take it, man. Take the wheel. And can you let the people know again your comment routine coming up, man? That way they can go.
This weekend. Dude. So let's see. This weekend, Friday.
There's no
Saturday.
Such thing as a cheap plug, man. Take advantage of it. For all my 3 listeners, they're gonna check on this, man.
It's at least I'm gonna listen. It's gonna be great too.
Wait, didn't you hate doing that? But first of all, before you say it, isn't that the worst? Whenever you record and then sometimes you have to edit, and then so you hear it. By the time you're done editing, you probably
still edit
everything like 4 or 5 times.
You still edit?
No, I don't. But I still have to go in and download everything. So, it's still every now and then you still have to hear some crap whenever. Like for this one, I'm gonna have to edit all the beginning because I messed that up pretty bad. But
just leave it. Let them hear us in our pure, unadulterated form. I'm tempted at times to hit record before anybody gets in there.
Yeah.
So they can hear like what we talk about. Yeah, no, we can't do that for y'all. You can do it on my show. Comedy wise, this Friday and Saturday, late night dirty show at Secret Group, midnight. Get out there, man. It's funny. During the week, I don't know. I did a headline gig in Clear Lake. Work has been busy. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really go out. Like I said, I don't do mics anymore. It's shows and hoes.
There you go, man. So, man, I'm super glad that you were able to join me in such a short notice. Chris is out. Rodrigo just had a kid too, so he's out for the season. He wants to be completely devote himself to being a father, which is great. Till they probably start pooping on him because he gets.
Is this his first kid?
First kid, man.
Okay, so he still has a few dreams in him, huh?
Just a few.
Yeah, number 2 kills him, guys. Promise.
Number 2 kills them. Number 3 definitely puts them to bed. So we stopped at number 2. So I still have.
I got 4. Chris, what does Chris have? 5? Chris runs a daycare.
No. He has 4. He should have gone for 5, but
why not?
he could have had his own little,
Bro, his wife records with him. I think that's cool as hell.
Yeah. And I think he mentioned that he couldn't record because one of the kids put something up their nose. So basically, there you go.
Well, he is Argentinian.
Huh?
He is Argentinian. Starting him early.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. But no, man, thanks for joining us. And as far as the Bayou City Soccer, man, you can check out Bayou City Soccer on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Threads, whatever you like. And definitely check out BayouCitySoccer.com, where you can find every article, which we've been kind of hit or miss this whole week because I was out, Dustin was out. It was fun times. But don't forget to always hold it down and keep it forever orange. And we'll see you at the game on Sunday,
November 25th,
26th.
At 4 p.m.
At 5 p.m. Well, I'll be there at 3 p.m., but I'll see you there, guys. So till next time, peace.